we must remember, you're one song away from cashing in on the pain. We're live, so we can do headphones.
We live.
We'll cut in. We can start it at some time after this.
It'll be edited.
Yeah, it'll be really edited.
Cool.
I'll chop it up so none of this.
I think
nothing you said will be reflected accurately.
You should just keep the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do sound bites and try to do a political thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever you don't believe in, that I'll try to make an angle. Get some clickbait.
I don't know what I believe in anymore. Aliens?
That's deep.
That's deep. Honestly, yeah.
Me too. I kind of feel that way. We should talk about politics the whole time.
Oh my God. I will literally have a mental breakdown if we do.
Do you talk about politics a lot?
No, I honestly...
So you have just zero threshold.
I have zero threshold. I have no tolerance, and you have to cut this part out. My mother is on a political, I don't know. She's every time I talk to her nowadays, it's just politics, and I'm like, Mother, I can't talk about this.
My mom's all aliens,
Maybe I would get along with your mom.
We could switch, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm not huge into politics, but Mom Swap.
Mom Swap.
It's a show I've been thinking about for years.
That's Wife Swap, isn't it?
That's a show. It might have been the
I didn't know there was Mom Swap either.
No, I'm thinking about making it. I've been thinking
about you're thinking about you should
Although now I'm feeling
that.
like there has been Mom Swap or
Wife Swap is kind of like Mom Swap and Wife Swap, I feel like.
Wasn't Super Nanny almost like Mom Swap, new mom that's going to kick your butt?
True.
It's a nanny.
Yeah.
You watch Super Nanny?
I've watched a couple episodes, but it's been a long time. To be honest, I don't watch TV anymore.
Yeah, too many commercials.
Yeah.
That's do you watch Netflix and the streaming?
Yeah, Netflix, Hulu, I have all the, except for Disney Plus.
I've got that.
But you got it?
And you can have it. I don't even use it. It's all yours.
Oh, okay.
Although I think it's only
What is this, Oprah? You get a free subscription.
There's got to be some perks. There's not, I'm not paying you. And
I mean, I was just down for the cause. You didn't have to pay me anything.
Well, I'm not. So
cool.
And by the way, while we're on the subject, you don't have any HBO Go or anything.
You're like, hey, can you give me something?
I did have you here.
I think my girlfriend has HBO. I don't really remember. She keeps track of it all, to be honest. I just know that I have Hulu and Netflix that I don't use because all of my other friends have given their logins to me. But if I can hook you up, I'll hook you up for sure.
We can do a swap.
Cool. Swap.
Yeah. Stream swap.
Yes.
Before we do Mom Swap.
Yeah.
Okay, Songwriter2Another. We got a couple songwriters in the room. One I'm excited about. Riley. I'm just kidding. I'm excited to be here, but Jay, do you have a last name Jay? I know he has Jay.
No, I don't.
Jay Flora.
No, Pygot. It's a weird last name. I have no connection to it whatsoever.
Got pie?
That's literally what I say. Wow, I'm glad you picked it up.
Yeah, it's intuitive. But I think of you as Faun Flora. I refer to you as Faun.
That's totally fine.
At this point, that's you could rock that. Is Faun Flora a first and last name on some level, or is it a concept name?
It's my moniker. I mean, when I interact with people from the music community, it's totally fine if they call me Faun or Faun Flora, whatever they want remember me by, because I know I don't always introduce myself as Jay at first. So whatever is easiest for you, here I am.
You been on the podcast circuit lately or what?
I've been having some podcast talk here and there, but I haven't actually done one yet. I think I did one short one with my label. He was like, we need to do a short interview for See You at the Funeral. So that's the only one I've done so far, but this is first one, so I'm super stoked. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining. It's a new podcast itself, so.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, lighten it up. See You at the Funeral. I like that song.
Thank you. I do too.
When you rescheduled this podcast, retroactively, or maybe after, I was like, well, it gives me more time to listen to more of this music, and I heard that song, and then I was like, I should have sent a really angry text about the reschedule and included like, see you at the funeral as like an insult to you, and to see if you would be able to determine that I was joking.
Oh man,
What do you think you would?
I would have been so confused. I would have been like, I don't know what's going on, because I'm such a like sensitive person in the first place that I would have been like, is this a joke? I would have been like, I'm so sorry to upset you. Oh my God.
Yeah. People handle my jokes in different ways. Sometimes it's crying.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have cried. I would have just been like,
I've noticed that women in my life don't always can't always tell I'm joking if I just act crazy, because they're like, yeah, that's how a lot of men act. It's not, your outrage is not just obviously hilarious.
Right. You're like, I can't tell if you're actually mad or not. Yeah. Also we don't know each other too well yet. So I'm like, I feel like we're just like still in that feeling each other out, like friend acquaintance,
Yeah.
Like we've crossed paths a few times now.
This is number 3. This is, I think, third.
Third time, yeah. So
this is the charm.
Yeah. Third time's the charm.
We better leave as friends, or else this went bad.
Friends or enemies, I don't know. One or the other.
Depends on how many songs I make you play. You like playing. You like performing.
I do, yeah. It's fun. It's a nice way to just like open up, I guess, and also just vibe. Especially when you're getting to know each other and like other people.
Oh, you mean like in this context?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Well, definitely. That's like what inspired the whole podcast, is just, I don't meet that many songwriters. As I've become more ingrained in the music communities where I've lived, like I do. But when I was growing up, I was super passionate about it at a certain point. And when I'd find someone, even if they were older or like otherwise wouldn't have been a good friend, based on the context, like I would try to get them to sit down and see what they've been writing. Which kind of brings me to something I kind of wanted to put you on the spot, at least asking you, have you written anything recently or anything you're working on that's not finished, or,
I've
a little ditty.
I've been more focused on other aspects of my life. I haven't been able to sit down. I did write a little tune like maybe a month ago. I was going through some like emotional BS. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here, so I'll try not to. I'm really bad at filtering myself.
You definitely are allowed to cuss.
Okay, I don't know.
Cuss is encouraged.
Some bullshit.
Whoa. Okay, tone it down.
All right, calm down.
Hey, kids listen to this a lot. So there's a really big kid community.
No S words, please. Yeah, I was going through something really like, I was just going through it like a month ago, and so I felt it like culminating inside of me, that I like needed to just like spit out a song. So I sat down with my piano, which I haven't written a piano song in a long time. I usually write on guitar, but this one I just brought up Logic and one of the preset synthesizers because you know me, I love my synths.
True.
So I just like wrote a very emotional little thing. I called it Racing Games, I think. And it sort of plays with how I tend to just like, when I am in my feels, I just like go through the thoughts like 1,000 miles per hour. And it's like a racing game. My mind is racing all the time. So it's just a little bit of a play on that metaphor. Other than that, though, I haven't written anything else really. I have like a bunch of songs waiting to be produced that I wrote last year during quarantine that I'm like really excited to bring to the studio. Like I have demos sitting collecting dust, and I like these songs. They're newer, so new stuff is always great to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The racing game, that sounds interesting. You know, the way you described the buildup of emotion, do you feel like in the back of your head when you're getting to that place, like the idea that this might manifest into a song is a back of the head thought, or do you know?
Yeah. Sort of like an internal instinct too. I don't know. It's just like, it's the way I grew up expressing myself because I didn't really have any other way to. So, like growing up, I often stayed locked up in my room, which sounds really bad, but it was my own personal decision that I just like would lock myself up in my room, and I was going through like a lot of emotional stuff, and you know, all I had was like my piano in there with me, and so you know, it's just kind of like my go-to now.
Yeah, da-da-da-da-dum-dum. A little jam. Okay. Yeah, this is working.
Cool. Am I gonna have to switch spots with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all you have to do, though.
Well, let's do it then. All right.
You want me to beatbox?
Yes, please. It's like a depressing song too.
I'll do like a beatbox solo.
Bear with me, I'm still trying to remember.
Not bearing.
Like, I can't fucking stand this.
This is bullshit.
I'm like used to the 88 keys, so my pinky's just like, eh.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I got the gist of it, so we're just gonna go for it. This fucking sound. We're just gonna do it. Got a long way to go before I die. Gonna learn to forgive all my trials. So when I pack my bags, keep your door open wide, 'cause I can't keep myself from crying. Play racing games in my mind. All the pain, well, it's strange how it changes. So when I pack my bags, keep the door open wide, 'cause I can't keep myself from crying. How I wish there was real paradise. Well, I guess I'll just keep rearranging. So when I pack my bags, keep your arms open wide, 'cause I can't keep myself from crying. No, I can't keep myself from crying. No, I can't keep myself from crying. No, I can't keep myself from crying. I definitely messed up a bunch because I was just trying to remember it.
There you have it, folks.
On the fly.
That's why Faun Flora is here. Wow, that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Very glad we muddled through the tech setup. Damn.
Yeah. Thanks for bearing with me through that chaos. I looked up and saw you were like closing your eyes and feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome. It was by my request, so would have been weird if I brought out my phone or something.
You're like, not into this.
Yeah, I muted. I turned the headphones off.
Wasn't worth it.
I did think it was funny at one point. I'm like, if we took our headphones off, you're just a cappella singing in this room.
Yeah, I was like, if they're out there, they're like, All right.
Like, what is he asking her to do?
What's going on?
But it would have sounded good. That was sick.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was emotional.
Yeah.
You got me thinking. Songwriters, are they like emotional people or something? I mean, is this a fair thing to say? I don't think so. Really?
No. Yeah, definitely. I think they're...
Not us, but like others.
I think...
Probably.
I don't know. In a sense, like looking at myself as a songwriter, I am very melodramatic. Like when it comes to emotional things, I mean, kind of have to be when it comes to songwriting. You're kind of painting a picture for the listener. So
I said that to a friend who asked about my songwriting. I just said, you don't really have to live like an interesting life. You just have to be really dramatic about a regular life.
Yeah, basically.
And then everything's a song.
Because to be honest, my life is not interesting at all. Like if you, like I go to school, I go to work, and then I come home and go to sleep. But yeah, I think growing up, I was just that kid who like always, everything was a movie scene in my head. And so now that I'm older, I've matured a little bit more. I kind of tap into that, I guess, when I want to write a song or feel it coming on,
Well, you said, or I asked you about, you can tell it's coming, or you said it's building up.
Yeah.
Do you ever get a moment where you're almost, because you're a songwriter and a musician, so you need songs, right?
Yeah.
So
definitely.
if you feel one coming, even if you're kind of upset, do you have a transition moment where you're like, I'm gonna get a good one out of this?
Yeah.
Hey.
I shit you not. When I wrote this song, I was having my mental breakdown and I was like crying, sobbing in my girlfriend's arms and having an existential crisis. And I started calming down and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go capitalize on my feelings and go write a song. She was like, go do what you got to do. And I did. I went into my little music studio and I just came out with this. And
I like the thing about I think it was the lyric, I wish there was real paradise.
Yeah, how I wish there was real paradise. I guess I'll just keep rearranging.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to think.
I mean, for me, I was like, I think a lot of I don't know, I don't use the word paradise too much, but a lot of the idea of like, am I constantly trying to get to a certain level of satisfaction?
Yeah. That's
kind of like a mirage where you think it's just going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And everything less than that is frustrating.
Yeah.
And that's like 97% of life is not like ecstasy moments.
Exactly.
So it's kind of this bad. I don't know. That's what I thought about it. I don't know how people feel about sharing the real stories behind their songs. And I think what works with songwriting sometimes is you never know what the person really means and you're just guessing.
Yeah.
Some songwriters are on the nose. You're like, I know exactly what this is about.
Right.
But you might still be wrong. But it's fun for you as the listener. And then you get the real story from a songwriter sometimes, and it's like breaking the fourth wall almost. Yeah,
definitely. I agree. I think, I don't know, one thing I do when I get obsessed with like a new artist or something is I just want to get to know them personally. And so like for my own music, I always tell people like, you can know what my song means, but I want you to make your own experience out of it. And because that's the nice, versatile side of music where, you can relate to a singer-songwriter because you connect to the song in the way you want to, or the way it relates to your own life and your own issues and problems. But as far as like the real message of the song, you hit the nail on the head like perfectly on that one line where I said how I wish there was real paradise. Is that life isn't always perfect. It's not, the way we want it. And at the time I was writing about a relationship where I grew up with different expectations of this person. And lately I've been dealing with a lot of heartbreak, realizing that this person is a completely different, personality than I thought they were. And I hold this person really close to me. for personal purposes, I can't really disclose who it is, but it's just like someone who you're really close to, that you were close to all your life, like a family member, who just turns out to be a completely different person. That's a hard thing to deal with sometimes, especially if you start to go to a place where you're like diverging from each other, and they were once like your rock, you know?
The hardest.
Yeah.
That's what I've been writing about this year.
This whole year?
I've actually been in Phoenix almost a year now, come January.
Oh. Well, happy almost anniversary.
Thank you.
Of living in Satan's butthole.
Yeah. Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Not right now though.
Not right now.
Happy November.
It's all right. Still a little bit hot during the day, but yeah, happy November.
You don't like heat?
I'm sick of it because since I was born and raised here, I was just like, I feel like you can't do anything while you're here in the summer. It just sucks. And I like being frozen. Like, I will go live in the snow if I could. Yeah, I would.
That's like okay, could you turn down my headphone for a sec?
Yeah.
Just a little. I think I'm 2.
You're 2. I'm going to turn mine up because I like mine loud and clear. How's that?
Yeah. Good. Okay. I want to play a song or like just a lyric or something. You've inspired me.
Yeah, please. Play me a song.
All right. I'll play a new one.
I think I've only been able to hear you play once, so yeah.
Oh, you did?
Me.
Where?
Yeah. Or wait, no, I just missed you the last time we were meeting up at Jared's.
I'm not sure if this is going to work in the right key, but I think I could force my way through it. If I never left Massachusetts, I'd be a famous folk singer by now. And if I'd stayed in California, I would have been a star somehow. And when I leave Arizona, I'll be saying the same thing too. But I just can't seem to stop running away from you. When I woke up this morning, I really wanted to give you a call. But I know the rule I made, and I don't break it now at all. It was only a year ago I was picking you up in the parking lot. You were running away from the mall cops. You got in, and all you said was go. Just go. Go. And so I went. I'm always trying something or another to improve the odds of my over-under, and whether I'll weather this life like a feather. It's hard to measure, but things seem better now than a year ago. I was picking you up in the parking lot. You were running away from the mall cops. You got in, and all you said was go. Just go. And so I went. I keep on making the same mistakes and noticing them right away, and telling myself this time I'll change it. You could give me one more day and I'd take that day, and at the end of that day I haven't done a goddamn thing to change. But things are better than a year ago. I was picking you up in the parking lot. You were running away from the mall cops. You got in and said go.
Brava.
A golf clap.
A golf clap, yes.
Nice to play your guitar.
Yeah, I love that thing. Wow, yeah. I liked that a lot. So you got Minnesota in there, you got Arizona. Where's the next place?
Well, Massachusetts.
It's
kind of funny you said Minnesota though, because that's been a theme lately, and also in a couple songs.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, it's tough. Those Minnesota, Montana, Michigan. Well, yeah, Arizona. Wait, what was the question? Where's next?
Yeah, where's next?
I don't know. I just didn't like the summer, and I was like, this can't be my permanent. There's no water. Yeah. This is bad.
I can't stand this. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what inspired that from what you said, but just like, yeah, I think the whole thing about a year ago and things being different, and like all that transition is intense. I think it's interesting when you're not writing about a romantic relationship, but it sounds like you are.
Yeah, I definitely agree. A lot of people are like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just so focused on, and musicians as well are focused on just not profiting, but just capitalizing off of romance in general, because it's one of the easiest, like, relatable things out there. But you know, there's so many different aspects to relationships in general.
I bet you there's tons of songs that are not about romance, but they have been. There was this really cool, I went to a So Far Sounds. You know So Far Sounds?
I don't.
It's like this music company around the world where it's sort of a DIY show company. So like I could host a show for So Far Sounds.
Oh, that's cool.
They would curate it. They'd book local, or they'd book artists, and then people just know, they get hyped, so they buy tickets without knowing the location or the artists.
Oh, I've seen, I think, something similar to that. Yeah. It's like secret concerts and stuff like that. Ah.
Yeah, So Far Sounds does it. So there was one in Phoenix the other night, and there was a singer from, I think, Uganda, and I can't remember if it was in English or, I guess, Ugandan, but anyway, he said it was about his dad dying, but it ended up being, verbalized as a love song, a romantic song. So it's a good way to hide, because I feel like there's something awkward maybe about those family relationships, or, for me, I've written songs about my parents and those relationships a lot, so I don't often introduce them to the crowd as like, this is about that.
Right. Especially because sometimes they're at your shows.
Yeah.
So
filming.
You don't want to be like, this song's about you, and it's not a good song.
It's really sad.
Or it's just like a song that's like doesn't say good things about them, Yeah. So
they're encouraging you to live stream, and they're requesting their favorite songs, and
it's just those relationships I think are even more complicated, because there's good and bad things, and they're lifelong, when it comes to family. So
I wonder if there's we should compile a list of secret songs that are about interesting family relations.
I have a list of them. I mean,
from you, or from like artists in the world? From
myself, from other artists.
Yeah, like I wonder how many
Take me a minute.
Good, like we discover a Johnny Cash song that's...
Yeah.
Although he's always saying mama, he's talking about his mama.
True. Good old Johnny Cash.
Well, have you, no pressure, but I suppose you said that was like last month you were going through a breakdown and wrote your way out of it? Yeah,
I think, to be honest, like I'm in my last semester of college. I'm about to graduate in December. So ever since August, I've been on a whirlwind. So time has been no concept to me. I've been like, what day is it? What year?
And you have what? This semester is the last one, or you're going to do the spring?
This semester is the last one. Yeah. I'm graduating at a weird time because I flunked my first semester at ASU, and then I took a break for another semester.
Respect.
R-E-S-B-E-C-T.
Can you play it?
Play
that song. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, no, I can never do that song justice.
I'm having fun playing with like how much music to insert into these sessions.
Right.
I mean, there's different ways to do it, but I'm having fun with the fact that it's undetermined.
Yeah, me too. On the fly is,
If you feel inspired to, just tell me and grab something and play.
Yeah.
So hey, well, when I give you the signal. No, you can do some background music. That might be nice. When it comes down to life, living, joy, pain, family, we must remember you're one song away from cashing in on the pain. Cashing in. Ooh.
Oh, got some pan in there.
Cashing out.
It's my go-to.
Is it?
Just some jazzy stuff.
Yeah. I could use that. That could, it's weird how music, like, I actually went for a run today, and I listened to this song. Someone said the word universe like 10 times.
Oh.
Faun Flora.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
yeah, something like that.
I love that song. And it worked because it was dark. I was going for a jog. There were some stars, I just got into it.
Cool.
But and then I turned it off for a sec, and I was like, oh, wow. Now I'm not in this crazy movie that I was in, because,
Right.
And I feel like if I had that jazzy piano coming into my life throughout my day, it could really movify. Just me, pouring a cup of coffee could be a totally different experience.
It's just like...
Yeah.
I like the spoken word that you were doing there for a minute. It's like you're the lo-fi kid. Lo-fi beats for studying.
Yeah, that'd be a good comedy sketch almost. You hire them. Man, that would be so sick to have a little musician get you pumped up when you're about to give it, when you're giving a speech. It's actually like movies have that. Sometimes I really notice it, and I'm like, fuck, that's crazy.
They have like an actual person just...
No.
Just like when the...
That would be really crazy. No, but like I'll notice I was watching Narcos Mexico. You know Narcos?
I think.
New season came out.
Okay.
And there was just this little scene right at the end, and he's talking, the guy at the newspaper is talking to his staff. And then right as he says this pivotal thing, just a little spicy guitar comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And I sort of like missed what he said, so I went back, and then I just was like really more aware of that transition. And I was like, that's so cheesy. How is that something I never notice? That I'm like, I feel inspired that he said that.
The inspiration.
He finally gave his staff permission to publish the article. Whoa. But then I'm like, wow, like would I have even felt pumped at all if they hadn't inserted like uplifting? Yeah, so.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some like, I think I was listening to Christmas music last night with my girlfriend because we were putting up our Christmas tree already.
Respect.
I mean,
Is that a real tree?
No, fake.
We don't say trees would struggle out here, man.
Yeah, we don't do real trees out here. And if you do, you're rich. But we were putting up our Christmas tree, and she had her Christmas playlist going on, and there's a super dramatic version of, I think it was What Child Is This? Playing, where it was just like big choir and like a cappella. Well, not entirely a cappella, but they had the big like timpani drums and everything. And I was like, this is like almost too intense for me. Like the drama is giving me anxiety right now, and I'm just trying to put up my Christmas tree, dude. So yeah, I definitely think like it can be overdone at some points, the inspiration part.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Would you ever want to do that? Add some music for sound tracks?
I've tried.
For movies?
Not for music.
I mean,
not for movies.
That's what I mean. Wait, what are you talking about?
Oh, I just meant like videos in general, or like I've tried producing some tracks for, like, my dad has a video production company and he's asked me to do some stuff, and I'm like, I can try and do it. But for movies, that would be awesome. I think in another life where I could actually understand music theory, because I suck at understanding music theory. Like, if I could do all of that, I would love to produce tracks for movies and everything, because those are like some very like inspiring sources for me.
Well, I feel like actually it leads me to a question that's not as, well, it is songwriting related, but I mean, your music is very well produced, you know, some of the stuff. I think you said that to me the first time I saw you play acoustic. You're like, well, my real stuff has a lot more instruments and more of a, what's it called? Like an electronic sound.
Production, yeah.
It's not like particularly electronic, but it's got some, you know, you said synth, some stuff.
Synthing, yeah.
So that's production. I guess you said not theory, but how does, you know, your songwriting process, do you feel like the song's done when you've written like the lyrics and the music, or do you feel like you view it as do you do all the production yourself and stuff?
I do like half of it, I would say. I will sit there and I will scroll through all of my like digital sound libraries I have, or just like play around and record myself. The basic skeleton, but I don't think the quality is there because I have no idea how to mix and master music. So lately I definitely have put out like self-produced stuff, and I took it down eventually. But actually, In the Darkness, I produced by myself.
Did you reproduce it?
I remastered it, I think, through some website.
It sounds great.
Thank you. I feel like it could be better, but I mean, for what I was doing at the time, like, I did my best.
Sure.
But nowadays, I've just been taking like my skeleton of my songs, so like all the stems, and I'll basically just put them on a USB drive or something and take them to a producer who I pay to make it sound quality and radio ready or something like that. And they add a lot more life to it, I think, especially when it comes to vocal production. I think that's so hard to do if you don't know how to do it. That's what makes the difference in the song, for sure.
Are you saying you recorded it at home and bring them like the stems, or and then they just mix it for you?
Kind of, yeah. They'll mix it, and then we'll re-record some stuff. Like, I re-recorded, for example, See You at the Funeral. I brought the demo to Corey Spots, who was the guy who produced it, and we basically just recorded guitar and vocals in his studio. So everything else I basically did at home. So that saved me a lot of money and time too, which is nice.
Yeah, guitar and vocals, just to use the high quality stuff and get really good takes.
Yeah, basically. And then I think he mixed it himself, and then I had it mastered by another company. So I found that to be the most like sufficient for myself, just because right now I don't have time to like learn how to actually mix and master myself.
Yeah. Well, that's like such another skill.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people go to school for it, so I don't have that kind of money.
I've worked professionally as like a live sound engineer, you know, for
nice.
For a venue and stuff, but I still feel like not good at it. Even like you can learn so much, but then you're still like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Subjective.
To like, I feel like some people are just like born with the ear for music and like how to make something sound good, and then some people really work towards it. But I definitely feel what you feel. Like, if I am doing my own stuff, it's never going to be perfect.
There's just so much. And then there's these crazy things that are just money. Like, there's just effects and filters and master, like, equipment that...
Oh, yeah.
This was $10,000. Here's a $5,000 plugin. You're like, well...
It's like this tiny machine or digital plugin. You're like, I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, and you're like, well, so... Yeah, even if I did everything really well with just some decent gear, would I still be... like $30,000 worth of gear away from that commercial sound, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Although, isn't Billie Eilish famous for being pretty lo-fi, and maybe they redid some stuff, but
I think so. I think her and her brother, I know when they first started getting popular, like they're like, oh yeah, we produce this in our bedroom and everything, but
enter their bedrooms like 40-foot ceilings.
Yeah,
it's like decked out.
It's a mansion basically. I'm like, okay, well.
Wait, is it?
I'm assuming, but
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I was making a joke, but then I was like, wait, are you
wait, are you serious?
Is that?
I don't know.
That's bullshit. I want my Spotify stream back.
Right. Give me back my money.
Yeah, it's weird. There's like, my friend bought a CD at a show the other day, and he was like, hey, could you convert this over to digital for me? I'm like, you don't have a CD player? He's like, no, I just want to support the band.
Oh, that's nice.
He's like, you can have the CD. And I was like, don't you have Spotify? He's like, yeah. I was like, they're on Spotify. He's like, well, I'm trying to be nice. So, but
I mean, yeah.
It was weird because it's like, that's $20, but it's only $10 a month for Spotify. Music's free now. Are you making any money? Aren't you?
Barely. I mean, the other night I was giving away merch because I've had it for so long, and I was like, I just need to get rid of this. Like, I was hoping people would like to buy my merch, but at this point, no, I'm just gonna give it away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think full disclosure, I think I have like maybe $50 worth of streams in my DistroKid bank right now,
cool.
which is like that's accumulated over like the past few years. I haven't like withdrawn from that or anything. Barely make money from streaming.
Yeah, I guess getting on those playlists, that's a whole nother podcast. It's a road to go down. I am curious. Well, first of all, what are you studying?
Oh, in school? Yeah. I'm doing communication.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm learning how to talk to people.
This should be your project. I'll send this in and you can say, hey.
This is my, what's the...
Thesis.
My thesis.
My capstone project.
Isn't that for the PhD or something? I think you do thesis for PhD, but...
Yeah. I think some undergrads have a little thesis class, you know.
Oh, yeah. If I did do it, I'd have no recollection.
If you did a thesis?
If I did a thesis.
If you'd already done one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you blanked it. Yeah, you're busy. You're. I feel like I should be promoting you more because you're doing a lot of cool stuff.
Life is a blur.
You're on a record label I want to hear about. It's like that this is based on my Instagram intake. So you got some of that. You're putting out new stuff. You're doing shows. The list, I'm sure, goes on. Tell me what you're doing if you want to. Oh,
so, okay. Aside from...
or otherwise just play a song that's like really hard to remember and on the wrong instrument and then... whatever's the most difficult right now.
Well, what am I doing right now? I am...
blowing up.
Blowing up?
You know, like in like a fame way. You're about to blow up from this podcast.
Oh, yes.
Me too.
Blow me up.
Consequently.
This room is going to blow up. In 5, 4, 3...
There's a dog.
2... Oh, there's a dog. Oh,
it's
no.
a moral quandary. Humans, but yeah.
So, yeah, I am... What am I doing? Well, next week I am not releasing, but airing on Twitch a pre-recorded live stream.
Yo, dude, I saw that. Did you just preview that? Was that background fake?
It's all fake.
That's amazing, though. It looked sick.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked. The owners of Sienna Art Portraiture were like very kind enough to let me use their studio, and they basically they own the studio and they call it the Fairy Experience. And it's actually for like little kids to come in and like dress up as fairies and have a little photo session, and it's interactive. There's like moving butterflies, there's fog, there's twinkling lights and the sound of crickets and everything, and it's this whole thing for them.
Whoa.
But they let me like set up my equipment there and just do like I basically just performed stripped down versions of my whole discography, like chronological order. So Chase Warren, who is a fantastic videographer, I hired him to record the whole thing, and my buddy Jose Silva, he did the sound for it. So Mike from 8020 Records, I work with him a lot. He was like, you should do this. It would be really cool. you should pre-record it and then just air it on Twitch, and then afterwards just put it on YouTube for people to like enjoy. So,
can you bring up a picture of what was on Instagram?
Yeah.
And show the camera. You saying it's fake, but what you described sounded kind of real.
Well, like it's all fake plants. I thought that's what you meant.
No, I thought it was like a Zoom background. Like
no, it's real. It's like it's this whole room. Like I'll show the camera too, but there you go.
Yeah, this is unreasonable. This is what is this reminding me of? Alice in Wonderland, or?
Yeah, something like that. So they call it the fairy experience. Here, I'll show
it works for your name.
Yeah.
And I forgot to ask you about your name. You're gonna have to give me the story of your name again.
Should I do it this way? It doesn't even show it.
Let me check the time here. Perfect. I'm going to. I can't. I think it's focused on your face area, like the distance of your face. You know whatever. I can edit it in later.
Yeah, I can send you the picture if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna do the thing.
Doing the thing.
It's trippy in here. Can't tell what time of day it is almost.
I know, it's like there's no concept of time in here.
Yeah, recording studios can be like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a portal. That's what I like about studios though, is because I feel like I'm always stressed about like what time it is or like how much time I have left. And I don't have to worry about that because I literally can't tell.
Yeah.
Unless I look at my phone, but
true.
Yeah.
Well, we've got at least I think 3 hours left, so
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here to vibe, so.
Yeah.
You were gonna ask about my name.
I was joking a little, but you seemed really down. So.
Oh, I mean, I'm down for anything. So.
I mean, fuck it. We can do a midnight cast. You know, while you're here, you might as well get a full 5 hours.
Do you think people would watch?
It's
for that long?
I don't know. I mean, probably not.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't.
5-hour cast.
My attention span is like horrible.
But your super fans would. My super fans, maybe.
So, do you have super fans? I think I have one so far, and she's really cool.
Yeah, it's a spectrum. I mean, I have to admit, perhaps my superest fan actually passed away last year.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay, but I'm acknowledging. Rest in peace, Linda. She would have listened to any length podcast. Shout out.
Dang.
She's here in the studio with us. Yeah.
Yes.
We love you, Linda.
I can feel Linda behind me.
I can hear her breathing. Yeah. She's the only one I could say for certain.
Yeah.
I don't know. Attention span's weird. I listen to long podcasts sometimes, but sometimes I don't finish them even if I like them. So.
Yeah, I feel that.
I could cut this up too. I could do a cut up version, a highlight version. I don't know. I'll do some stuff. I'll give you some data if you want to promote, etc. in certain ways.
Yeah, love to post about it on IG.
Yeah, IG.
On IG. Igloo. Oh man.
Okay, so I should have written down a list of questions. People tell me to do that. I'm like, I'm just gonna flow. I don't need a list.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, if I get out of here and this girl doesn't tell me why it's called Faun Flora, I'll be like, fuck, I had one chance. I had one fucking shot. You've told me in person, I'm pretty sure, and maybe that was like no big deal. But what's the story here?
So Faun Flora, I chose one night. I was laying in bed, and at the time I was going by my actual name, Jasmine Alexis, or Alexis is my middle name. So I was doing the whole singer-songwriter real name thing. And I felt like it wasn't like a marketable name, to be honest. And I was getting sick of it. And I just wanted to derive my moniker off of like one of my other main hobbies or passions at the time, which was like just being in nature. Or, you know, when I was younger, I used to like, my grandparents would take me in their RV and travel cross country, and I got to see like really cool places. And I think about those trips a lot. I don't know. And just being able to experience nature the way I did kind of just formed a side of my personality that I didn't realize. And I wanted to acknowledge that. So I was just playing around with names. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But I also, when I write songs, I don't know if you're the same way, but I just like, I see things visually all the time too. I see like scenes in my head, and most of the time it's like scenes of nature or something like that. So I wanted to like pay respect to that. So, the scientific terms for plants is flora, and the scientific term for animals is fauna. So I was like playing around. I was like flora, fauna, faun, flora. And I was playing around with spelling, and I just stuck with Faun Flora. I basically was doing a test run with it, and people seemed to like it. So I was like, I'll just stay with it then.
Yeah, it is likable.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks.
That's a cool story. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
I suppose there is a lot of imagery in my head for songwriting. I don't know if there's a lot of nature scenes. So I think that's neat. I don't know. I mean, obviously everybody's different. For me, especially when I first started like songwriting and everything, it was mostly derived with nature, but the movie scenes have changed as life has changed for me as well. That's cool though. Yeah. Are you a plant person? Are you a plant mom?
I'm a huge plant mom, and I'm a terrible plant mom, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I like to tell people that I like to neglect my plants, so I need to buy plants that can take a little bit of that, because otherwise it's not going to survive well. But
it's hard out here. My plants have died for sure. Everything I've tried, it took. It's like really hot here. We're in Phoenix, by the way.
Yeah, we're from.
This is Phoenix.
The devil's butthole is what I called it earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if we specified. You did say ASU, but up until now, someone might just not know where we are.
They're like, what are they talking about?
They're like, devil's butthole. And then they're seeing some crazy shit.
On Google?
They're like, it didn't show a pop-up with Phoenix.
It's like, I definitely shouldn't have Googled that. My bad. Sorry. Full discretion. Google at your own risk. Honestly, I didn't get into plants until like a few years ago. I started working at the Desert Botanical Gardens, and it's just like a bunch of cacti and succulents there. So I was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't really care for cacti and succulents. And then I worked at Pueblo for a little bit, and that's how I learned like how to take care of plants and like what plants would actually survive if I forgot about it for a couple weeks. And I found my forte. It's all about like finding the plant family that works for you.
So what works for you?
If we really want to get nerdy,
yeah,
I'm a huge plant nerd at this point.
Nerd it up.
There's a family called philodendron that I seem to vibe with the most. Like I can just stick them in my apartment, and maybe like give them a little love and water every now and then, and they're fine with that.
Philodendron, is that the common name?
Yeah, that's like the family. I don't know. I did science for a little bit. I actually flunked out of biology, so I don't think I'm the right person to ask. But
hey, irony. It works in mysterious ways. Faun Flora.
Yeah.
You're redeeming yourself.
I'm trying to. Musically.
You ever write a song for school? I wrote a song in high school. They'd let us write, or I somehow convinced the teacher to let us write songs for our final projects.
Really? Oh my God.
So I wrote a biology song and a chemistry song.
Nice.
It was sick because for me, writing songs not really that hard, so I could just write a song as a final, not do anything for a final project. But my teachers, because some people they think songwriting is like hard or like,
oh yeah.
So they were like, "A, boom, whoa."
You're like easy, A.
Yeah, really easy. I still have them. I'll link them after.
Can you play one right now?
don't know if I could remember.
We're doing this.
They're very dramatic.
Good.
Wow, it's the same chords as the song I played. So this was, 11 years ago.
Perfect.
I only remember this part. I'll try to get the tonality too, back to 16. Millions of years ago, something happened and we surely know. Somehow there was the birth of the first life on planet Earth. Oh, how from such a desolate place sprouted the first life? Was it from Earth, E major, or space? And how do we get? How do we take such? How do we take such immense human beings? And how many people just like me have questioned how it came to be? The first one said that it came from space, but others will tell you that is a disgrace. Well, Cooper, my friend with guitar in hand, will tell you that no meteor did land. He'll tell you now, and he'll tell you right, that life didn't come from a rock in the night. No, the atmosphere helped the building blocks form. Chemosynthesis is how life was formed.
Oh my God. Wow.
Man, I got that fucking locked. I wish I had other songs locked.
Dang.
Chemosynthesis versus, the building blocks of life. Whether it came from space or from nucleic acids. Hey, man, I'm telling you, Miss Clemmer, shout out Miss Clemmer. Fucking
wish Mike
learned me.
Yeah. Did you learn?
She learned me good. Man, wow, can't believe that happened. My dad's like one of his faves. He was like,
it's like, I'm proud of you.
Science rocks.
Yes, literally. Yeah, that was.
And it was a duo. It was a duet. We both night before, and then he sang his.
That's actually really impressive, to be honest. Because I think I tried that one time with one of my science classes. One of my
songwriters always trying to get away with something.
I know, trying to get a grade for what they do. One of my ecology teacher, Miss Bars, I miss her, man. She was like, "Oh, one of my students did a rap for it was like the atmospheric system or whatever." And I was like, "Oh," and she was like, "So if any of you could do a rap, I'll give you 5 points extra credit." And I was like, "I write songs. I could definitely do this." I just have no talent when it comes to hip hop or rap. I appreciate the genre so much, but if you ask me to freaking lay down some bars, I am I'm so awkward. And so I did it. And I was so embarrassed afterwards. And I think the whole class was embarrassed for me. I was like, man.
Well, you got 5 points, eh?
I don't think I did.
Yeah,
she was like, yeah, that was horrible.
No.
Actually, no, I take it back.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's cold-blooded. I mean, that's a bad teacher.
I don't blame her, to be honest.
I didn't hear the rap, so can you
I
reproduce
honestly,
this?
I have no recollection except the word eutrophication was in there somewhere.
That's my middle name. That's weird.
Riley eutrophication. How do you say your last name? Is it Dugan or Dugan? Okay.
Good, nice guess.
I'm just gonna start calling you Utroph.
Yeah, I can dig that. Maybe that'll be my rebrand.
There you go.
Okay, this is good. I'm gonna check this. I'm having. Okay, good. We're good. I might get some water actually.
Yeah, we can take a breather if you need.
I do need to, capitalize on this moment, though, because this is the perfect segue into your next song, because you played...
Oh, fuck.
You know what I want to bring up?
I set myself up. What?
The one that you rap in. You have a song where you, spit it halfway through and it's sick. Or maybe it's spoken word poetry, but for me,
Traveler.
it's sick. Yeah.
Yeah. The one where I ripped off the famous poet Robert Frost.
I mean... At this point, I think you're doing him a favor. He's
I hope
probably.
So.
Is it a guitar song? You want to play it?
Yeah, I could. I mean, I could do it either way, but honestly, I think I prefer. What do I prefer?
Well, think about it. I'm going to get water.
Okay.
They can watch you warm up.
Yeah,
I'll cut it out.
You want anything? I'm good. Thanks, so. Wow.
By the way, we could definitely change the sound at this point. Oops.
I think
You vibing on the sound?
I actually use electric piano for this song. Is there a way to put like a sustain pedal? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure I don't have a pedal.
That's okay. I don't need it. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. This song is actually like my favorite song to perform live. So thanks for asking me.
I bet people get stoked when you do that.
Especially with like a full band. When it's like an actual like live show. We do like backing tracks and stuff, and then my drummer, she just goes hard, and it's really fun. So I hope people get into it because I definitely do. But even stripped down, it's like really, it's vibey.
I forget you perform with the band. Do you write with the band at all? Does the band influence the full arrangement or the?
To be honest, no. I
just hired guns.
Basically.
To make you look good.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, I definitely love when they put their own creative freedom to what I've already written live because it just makes it sound so much better. And it fits the live setting more too. But as far as production, up to this point, it's just been me. I think with the new stuff that I have that I'm going to want to take to the studio, I think I'm going to let them, step in a little bit more if they wanted to. But yeah, so far it's just yours truly.
Sweet. Yeah. Songwriting. Writing songs.
Most of the reason is because I am just a little bit protective of my music, especially in the beginning. I was like, this is how I want it to sound. I want it to sound exactly how I hear it in my head. But I think I'm starting to let that go a little bit. Because there's a beauty in collaboration between musicians and especially with the people that I'm working with right now. I think they definitely have an ear for what the overall idea is for Faun Flora. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
But I hear that. I mean, it's such a thing to have the sound in your head. It's hard enough to even to manifest it. So
yeah.
Do you feel like you have done that 100%? You've manifested exactly what you wanted? I know that's kind of like an impossible to ask question, kind of, because you can't actually hear it in your head, like
right.
On record, but
I definitely, when I'm able to do it like myself, I think with the most recent release, yes. Like I was able to just create in my own studio, in my own space. And then when I took it to Corey, he just translated it to a more quality version. He didn't really like change anything, to be honest. Whereas my previous stuff, I kind of just like, I didn't know how to produce or do things on my own. So I would just take it to a producer and try to convey what I wanted to them. And they still made it sound good, but it wasn't exactly like what I heard in my head. Like, for example, with my EP that I released, the producer, Halen, who is awesome as well, he made it more pop. So it's a more like pop sounding EP, whereas lately I've been going in the direction of like dream pop or like a little bit more like chill kind of vibes.
Man, the genre words have lost like all their meaning lately.
Yeah, definitely. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so focused on genres lately, but a lot of people are asking me like, oh, what kind of music? And I'm like, I don't know how to describe it, but this is how I would.
Right. No, well, they're useful. I mean, I feel like I usually just say folk, but I kind of think you can find the songwriter inside any genre, and that's sometimes what I'm attracted to.
Yeah, definitely.
So this song's called
Traveler. I went through many names for this song. It was initially, I think, The Road Not Traveled or The Road Less Traveled or something like that, because the spoken word part is Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken, or something like that.
The Road Less Traveled? Maybe?
This song is a fuck you song to my ex.
Yeah.
We love breakup songs. I love capitalizing off of breakups.
You gotta get something out of those.
Yeah. I love this song because it was like my first time experimenting with, I don't know, more of a explicit side of myself, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I was just coming into a new age and more self-discovery, and I wanted to write something where if I played it live, like it was the song that everybody wanted to dance to or just like had a good time with, you know? And so it got kind of like translated into this funky / experimental kind of anthem for a big flip the bird to the X, you know?
Word. Respect. I'm keeping, that's my word of the night. Respect. Yeah. Well, I can testify that there was much dancing at the show, so.
You and
Sebastian,
yeah. I loved that. That was so great. That made my entire night, my week, in fact. I was just like,
keeps getting better.
Man, that was nice.
Are you sure it wasn't the month? Did we make the month?
Yes. The year.
Okay.
The life. Okay. Well, just
you know I won't be satisfied.
You're like, just the week? Okay. Well, you get to hear a different version of it. In the summer, it's never enough to drain the love out of someone who isn't the one. 'Cause it's easier said than it's done to love yourself like it's second to none. Oh no. But you talk about it like there's nothing wrong, and you dream about the feeling that's been gone for so long. So what about it? You know you had the chance, but I've had enough running from this bad romance. Just give me time, I gotta get away from here and keep you out of my mind. No, it's not right, you know I gotta face my fears, 'cause you're the one I cannot survive. And we both know it was something bound to happen, but always in the back of my mind. Well, I couldn't leave for the same reasons that you would never even dare to try. So let's talk about it. Is there something wrong? Do you dream about the freedom that's been gone for so long? Go on about it. Yeah, you had your chance, but I've had enough running from this bad romance. Just give me time. I gotta get away from here and keep you out in my mind. No, it's not right. You know I gotta face my fears, 'cause you're the one I cannot survive. Just give me time. I gotta get away from here and keep you out in my mind. No, it's not right. You know I gotta face my fears, 'cause two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps that better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear, though I swore that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in least no step had trodden black, while I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, as somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Just give me time. I gotta get away from here and keep you out in my mind. No, it's not right. You know I gotta face my fears, 'cause you're the one I cannot survive. Just give me time. I gotta get away from here and keep you out in my mind. No, it's not right. You know I gotta face my fears, 'cause you're the one I cannot survive. Vibes.
Plus 50 bonus points.
Oh, hell yeah. With the dancing.
Take that, teacher. Whoever that was.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Cancel them.
She was a nice teacher, but it was warranted.
Yeah. Hey, that's what podcasts are for. They're for calling out all the teachers who wronged you growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
And then, finding their teacher email through the school system and sending them a link.
Sending them the podcast link. Like, hey, I talked about you in this podcast. No other context.
You influenced me.
You inspired me.
I think Leonard Skinner, that's their whole thing. At least this is the story I've been told. Like,
really?
That Leonard Skinner, or maybe, was this teacher they hated, and he was a dick. So they were like, let's form a band and
name it after Leonard Skinner. That's hilarious. Well, good for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm not sensing too much resentment. Yeah, that was sick. That song is dope.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's you said you wanted it to be something that's like danceable and fun. It gets super catchy. Do you feel like you think about catchiness when you write?
Oh, 100%. Like 1000%. I think that's like at the forefront of my mind every time I write a song, is like, if it's not sad, it has to be catchy.
Oh, interesting.
For me, at least. I don't know. I try to come up with hooks that are like, I don't know, likable.
Yeah.
For the crowd.
Yeah.
So.
There's a song you put out that has the words, I don't really care. And then there's something, maybe it's the moon, there's something in the air. You know that song?
Is it?
It's like about falling in love really fast.
Drive.
Yeah. That one's so catchy. That first part's like, I don't really care. That's maybe not. Yeah.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to play that one?
You should play it, but we should talk about also hooks and catchiness for a minute. That's an interesting thing. That's something I never think about.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own.
Oh, smart. You feel like, yeah. How does it merge with your feelings of like authentic expression? And then you're like, but I also want this to be. I mean, how do you view it? Do you just be like, I want the person to be able to enjoy this, or do you want them to? You know what I mean? Are you
like, I think I take inspiration from my literal favorite all-time band, Foster the People. I love them. Aside from their song "Pumped Up Kicks," that's like the only song they're known for to like people who don't actually like listen to them. They just, I don't know. To me, they inspired me in a way where like they write about some serious subjects, but they somehow make their songs like they make it a hook and it gets stuck in your head and you're like, why am I singing this song for like 3 weeks now? And so I just kind of, I don't know, I definitely find it important for myself to express like what I'm trying to get at. At the same time, I think it's just as important to pay attention to the instrumental and the cadence of the lyrics for sure. Because I feel like there's some songs out there where you're like, you know, it's catchy. It's just like the message doesn't really like connect to me, or vice versa, where it's like, you know, beautiful lyrics, but I just like really can't vibe with like the way they sing it or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm too much of a critic.
Well, it's smart. I mean, no one like. I mean, yeah, you can complain about a song being like weirdly catchy because then you're like, what the fuck? But for the most part, if it's catchy, it means it just sounds good.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That's at the forefront of your mind. What else do you feel like is going on in your head during your process? And like, yeah.
I think how I'm going to translate it to a live setting because I don't know. I think growing up as a kid, I was super shy about just like performing in front of crowds, but I knew deep down that I wanted to perform at some point. And ever since I've had that breakthrough, half of it was just writing songs that like I felt confident enough to give to the people who are there and listening to your music. Like if they're going to be there, they obviously like want something good and like a good performance. But the material has to be good too. So I don't know. I think about the live context a lot as well.
So what would be an example of you're writing a song, you're looking at lyrics and chorus and all that, and you're like, how's this going to make sense on stage?
You know, I honestly don't know. Do
you ever cut something because you're like, that's going to suck live or something?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
What would suck, like, you know, when it's all music? You like maybe that part just feels too. Is it like a lens of feel? Actually, I don't know. Tell me more.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is like a certain kind of lens because I've definitely written songs where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm in a good enough place to perform this live. Like I wrote this one song called Strange Reflections that was off of my EP, and I love the song. It's a very personal song to me, and the way that it was produced was like so beautiful to me, but I tried performing it live and it just wasn't it. And it's because I didn't really I thought about it in terms of like having a bigger stage and more equipment and everything, and I just don't have that ability right now.
So it doesn't come through fully, right? Like with a smaller setup.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh, so you think of like what instruments and means I actually have, would this still sound good?
I guess so, yeah. I guess more so nowadays, because at first when I was writing, I was like, you know, shooting for the stars. I was like, oh, this is going to sound so good on the stage and everything. And little did I know.
With a symphony behind it.
Yeah, little did I know. It took like a lot to be able to produce the same feeling live as I would want it to produce, like the same feeling when you're like listening to it alone in your bedroom or just like closing your eyes and feeling the song itself. I think that the word feeling is very much what connects it all for me, is like how does it feel when I'm, feeling like down in the dumps and I need to listen to this song that will help me kind of figure out my thoughts? Or how does it, so like if it makes me feel like that, how's it going to feel live? Is it going to bring me to tears? Is it going to make me feel like I'm coming of age or something like that?
And that would be a good thing.
It would be a good thing. I don't know. I want to connect with my audience in that way. So I try to keep that as a focus too.
Okay, so in that last example, you're saying if it brings you to tears, it would maybe bring the audience to tears. Well, I'm not saying literally you expect that, but I mean the sentiment there. Or is that what you're saying?
I'm trying to, I think I'm putting myself in the listener's shoes is what I'm doing. So like for me, when I'm listening to my favorite band, if they have a more intimate song and when I'm like listening to it in my bedroom, like that's my own intimate experience. And so when I see them perform that song live, like that's going to bring me to tears because, it's such a personal connection for me. And here I am like connecting with the person who made that song, and I like can literally feel the vibrations of that song from the stage. I don't know. I think I'm getting too deep about it or like philosophical about it.
No, I like
I'm
it.
just like, I'm talking nonsense at this point.
No, you're not. This is the good stuff.
But I think I'm just trying to think about, I try to think of the listener and put myself in the listener's shoes in any type of setting that they're in, listening to that song, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah. And you said with anything but a sad song, you think about catchiness. But the sad songs, are they what's it called? Exempted?
Excluded. They're not exactly excluded.
From that, I mean, when it comes to a sad song, there's just like a different grace that's granted because of the fact that it's going to be.
Yeah. And granted, like not every sad song isn't catchy. There's definitely like lots of catchy sad songs out there. I guess I meant like a slower song or something that's more like with the movement rather than straightforward, I guess.
When I was in Massachusetts, there's a venue called the Parlor Room. It's attached to a folk record label, and so they have like it's called a listening room though. The venue, it's mostly folk artists.
Oh, nice.
And so the whole point of a listening room is like it has to be completely quiet.
Yeah.
Which is not totally uncommon for certain venues, but like for small stuff maybe is not as much.
Yeah.
Like if there's gonna be 50 to 100 people there. Maybe that's going to be... Anyway, but it's amazing what a difference it can make for folk artists because that music, it's like, it's not attention-getting enough to cut through a bar a lot of the time.
Right.
Maybe some of the parts that are more appreciable are like quieter, little nuanced things in the voice that you're just not going to hear at maybe, different venues or whatever. So
yeah.
I think about that a little bit with what you said of, like what can you get away with depending on the venue and like what the audience is going to be like, including have they heard your music? Because like you said.
Definitely.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's definitely a journey. Just writing each song. I think I don't really have a specific mindset. I think each one has their own unique circumstances.
Yeah.
So, which is why I'm having such a hard time like explaining.
Well, people always ask, like what comes first, the lyrics or the music or like these things.
Whatever feels right. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a weird. It is kind of a mysterious process, or maybe it's not that mysterious, but it just feels like it is to the songwriters. Do you feel like you're ever getting this stuff from the source, from outside of you? Beamed down with inspiration, or
with some songs, definitely, yeah. I feel like it's an outer body experience, or like, I'm not really like religious or anything. I don't believe in God. I believe in like higher power or just
tarot cards.
Tarot cards, yeah. No, we can go down that road if we want to, but it would be a long podcast. I guess there is some sort of higher power out there that you can tap into, and each person has their own kind of threshold on like what they can tap into. For one, I'm not really good at like doing it on demand. It's just kind of like, oh, as it comes and goes. So with some songs like See You at the Funeral, that one definitely felt like it came from something else. Like I feel like the song was already written and I just had to figure out how to translate it from wherever onto paper or onto into vibrations or whatever. Whereas other songs like Traveler, I really had to like work on and challenge myself about it. And it wasn't really so much about like outer source. It was more of like, all right, like what can I do with this and how can I make it something that people would like?
Yeah. It's super interesting that you would say that you felt like it was already there and it was up to you to like channel it. Or
do you ever feel like that with some songs?
Yeah. And I felt like that's like maybe my primary relationship towards, as a kid, I wrote poetry. Oh, I wrote like a few poems because I'd hear them. Yeah. And then I was like hearing it, like it felt like I was hearing it, like hearing voices or whatever, but I like heard, I'm like, it would be like in my head, like, this is rhyming. And I'd be like, I got to write this down. But it didn't really feel like I was thinking of it intentionally. Yeah. And that was like when I was like 10. And then maybe when I was 15, I had that experience with a song when I started playing guitar. And so for a long time, it was like that was the way. I'd like wait for that. And I wouldn't feel comfortable. It took me a long time to realize that the song wouldn't be like bad if it came from my mind. Yeah. You know, I was always waiting for that inspired. Even though it's so obvious sometimes that it's not coming from somewhere else. Like I know, but it's almost like you're dissociating. Yeah. Because with See You at the Funeral, like you said, that's a breakup song, right?
No, it's actually it's a...
I'm mixing that up.
It's a very existential crisis song.
Okay. I wonder if there's I just wonder if there's a difference, or I've wondered forever if there's a source, or is like, can your mind just sort of like compartmentalize creativity to the point that you're like looking at it as if it was coming from not your mind?
Exactly. I was just about to say, like, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's you, like almost something takes over and suddenly like, I don't know if you ever seen like Heroes. Have you seen that show?
Only a little.
Oh, they have the guy who like his eyes like turn white and he just like paints like a vision of the future basically, and then he like comes out of it and he's like, oh my god, what just happened or whatever. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen the show, but it almost feel like I'm possessed somehow. Maybe not the word possessed, but
no, it's like the Hulk or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not to make it crude, but all of a sudden I'm thinking of sex and like, you know, have you heard of post-nut clarity?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's this sensation for men where after they nut, they have like a totally different psychological like clarity of
epiphany or something like that.
Well, yeah, like whatever mindset they were in before that could be completely different, and they have a different like relationship with, you know, it's a real thing. It doesn't always happen again the same way, but yeah, there's a certain clarity. So it's like, I guess I'm just bringing. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Can I make a joke?
Yeah.
I don't have sex with men, so of course I wouldn't know. I'm fucking gay.
Well, lucky you. I don't think it's a highly appreciated. What's it called?
I've never heard of that. Or
post-nut clarity.
It's like I knew it was a thing, but like I didn't realize it was a thing. You ever have that?
Well, it's like could be like an urban legend. People don't think blue balls is real. They think it's a myth. Not to make this a sex cast, but
welcome to.
I'm a big advocate in my life of telling people blue balls is real. I'm not saying it's like you should use it as an excuse to like. I think the whole thing is like it's like a myth men would make up so that they could get sexual favors or something,
right?
Because otherwise they'll be left with blue. Which no, that's not right. But it is. I think it is possible. I mean, I know it is. I've experienced it. It's possible.
Like it's a possible thing.
Yeah, they don't turn blue, but they hurt.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I'm trying to think of it as like as a female lesbian, a cis female lesbian, where like, I mean, I don't relate because I don't have the body parts, but I can kind of like, I think empathize. Where it's like, yeah, you can't have sex when you really want to have sex. Like it kind of fucking sucks. And if you guys feel that physically, I mean, it just manifests differently than it does for.
I don't think it's that common, but I do think I don't know how it would even work scientifically. And it's not just that it sucks. It's like, I feel like, not to get super graphic here, this is kind of like, but that's how I feel comfortable talking about it. I don't know how listeners, whoever's gonna listen, but I just feel like it's like cum trying to get back into your balls, and it's like wait, we're not gonna
where do I go?
We're not going out, and you're like, no, not anymore. I got you like thinking that, and they're like, I guess I'll just go back into the ball hole, and then you're like,
like, what's going on? Nobody knows what's going on.
It's happened to me like 1.5 times in my life, so I don't think it's like a epidemic, but.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to experience it, and I hope you don't have to ever again, because it doesn't sound fun.
Faun Flora, thank you. Maybe we could get you like a pin that's like a blue balls ally, because you said God. You can't, you have like empathy towards the blue balls issue.
Yeah. I never didn't believe it, but I never like really actually actively talked about blue balls.
Why?
So,
you know. The world doesn't need this conversation, maybe, but we're having it.
It's insightful.
Well, we're trying to determine if songs come from a spiritual ether or if they're just a psychological thing akin to post-nut clarity.
Yeah, I think it's both.
Do you? Do you really think? Oh, yeah. I've. What if they came from ghosts?
I think, okay, so here's what I believe. I don't believe ghosts are like what you see in the movies. I believe that my beliefs are more rooted in science, whereas like energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So like when somebody physically passes away, their energy gets returned back into the world, in the universe. So I don't know, like, sometimes maybe you get possessed by someone else's energy. I don't know. But yeah, it could be a possibility in terms of ghosts.
Yeah. The mind is like, first of all, like, you know how we don't feel anything? Like we feel, but it's the brain telling us to create. Yeah. Like, it's not actually, the feeling's not in your arm. It's correlated to your arm through visual or something.
Simply.
And physical. But like the signals here, like you could feel pain. Like people lose their hand and they still feel like they have a hand.
Yeah, the phantom
thing. With our ability to create that much sensation that's not technically real, I'm not trying to say that the ghost thing is or isn't real, but it's like we clearly have so much room.
Go for it. You're going.
Thank you, man. I'm super glad I asked. Cool. Sweet. And the thing's still recording, eh?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you're still going. Go ahead and take a seat.
Then go.
All the gestures and fingers nowadays.
It's not going to touch it.
Okay, cool. You're good. Nugget.
Cool.
Bye, Nugget. trying to follow along.
So you say you don't have good music theory, but you're pretty good on the piano.
I know a little bit of music theory, but I am so slow when it comes to it. And I started piano when I was, I think, 4 or 5, whenever you could actually like comprehend things.
Dang.
As a child, my dad got me into piano. My parents put me in piano lessons for a few years, and then I quit. So when it comes to piano, I understand things better. I'm self-taught on guitar, so I don't really know like what I'm doing sometimes.
But you can like play in any key on piano and transpose and...
No, honestly. You just have to like shout chords to me, and then I'll know what to play. But scales and transposing and like all that stuff. I'm like
transmutations and
I don't know what I'm doing.
Toggling.
Yes.
This is nice. It's like nicely set up. Do someone set it up for you?
I think I had it set up a few months ago by, I wish I could remember his name. I think his name was Jake or Jason or Josh. A J name.
Cool.
Josh Nichols, I think. He owns Nichols Guitar Company. I was referred to him by Corey Spots.
Corey's your producer?
He was for See You at the Funeral and Despondent. So my 2 most recent singles.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So we were on to something for sure.
We were talking about songwriting and whether it comes.
What?
We were on a very deep topic. Whether it sources from like an outside source, right, or like more of an internal thing.
Yeah, I noticed it took. So I have the thing where like if as soon as I start feeling like I'm writing the song and I'm not grabbing it from the thingy. I used to be like, okay, it's done. And if I didn't get it quick enough, I'd be like, whatever, the song's scrap.
Yeah.
But then I realized I finally wrote this one song that I didn't give up on. I kept working on it, and I'd even write new lyrics that were relevant to things that had changed since I started writing the song. And it was really good. And then I was like, oh, maybe I was being a little purist all these years. And so I'm no longer overly worried about that source sensation. It's such a trippy thing because, like you said, I'm not really religious or super spiritual, but that sensation, that psychological thing, is what probably got me most. I think at least it was a big part of what inspired me about songwriting.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I like listening to music and playing music and stuff, but the idea that these things were special, they weren't just like an assignment. Hey, write a poem for poetry class, which, I mean, ultimately that can be fine, but there was just like this mysterious aspect. So I'm not sure if I even believe it anymore, to be honest. But I believe in the feeling of that being the case. Oh,
definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think I've had a similar journey to you where I'm like, in my earlier years, I definitely I felt more tapped into the source, and I would just kind of like write things on a whim, and like, if I felt like I was writing it, it wouldn't do for me. But with the songs that I wrote last year during quarantine, I have this one particular one where I wrote the instrumental and I love it, but I cannot like find the right lyrics for it for some reason. I've rewritten the lyrics like a million times, and I really want to finish this song because I think it's beautiful and I want people to hear it. But I think it's become more of a internal challenge in a fun way for me, where I'm like, you know, maybe it's not an external source I'm tapping into. Maybe it's just like my abilities and the way I develop them, you know?
Are you saying you keep waiting for the external source to come and write a really good song for that instrumental, or really good lyrics, and now you're realizing it doesn't have to be that?
Not for this song in particular. I did used to wait for that inspiration to come, but I got tired of waiting, and then I would eventually like sum it up to writer's block, and I found that wasn't a good thing for me to rely on. So I started pushing myself to I started actually like writing poetry as like a different source of inspiration for myself, and that actually helped a lot with the EP I released last year. So it's been interesting, just like kind of going about it in different ways and learning different ways to inspire myself.
But this song is still unwritten?
It's still under the works. I'm like almost convinced at this point to just release it as an instrumental, but I know that it needs lyrics because that's what's going to drive like half of the song until it gets to the end. It's like one of those things.
So. My spiritual version or self would be, whenever that happens, I'm like, well, this song is just it's waiting for the thing to happen. And once it happens, and that has...
Oh my God. The camera's too hot. It said it was going to take a nap until it cools down.
Did it really say the word nap?
No. It just said internal temp too high.
The Sony CX7 is so dramatic.
Yeah.
Or is it CX? I don't even know. Something 7. Well, we got you.
All right. Well, I guess it's me.
Yeah, keep talking.
Okay.
Don't stop talking because then it'll be weird. I'll show you cards of what to say.
I feel the pressure.
Yeah. And I even did the 30-minute rule and everything. But that could be our sign to wrap it up soonish. Might be a perfect opportunity for you to play that song we were talking about. And I mean, oops. There's always we can always have another episode someday.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For anything unresolved. Anything you want to communicate to audiences about either songwriting or / like where you're at right now with your journey? It sounds like I kind of wanted to hear about 80/20 Records.
Oh yeah.
That's a new thing, right?
Yeah, I signed to 80/20 in I think early September or late August. It's been great, honestly, because being a musician in general and trying to carry your own project is a lot of work. Anyone who has their own project knows that like if you want to put yourself out there, it takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and because I have so many other things on my plate right now, it was hard for me to do that by myself. So 80/20 has been a great tool for me, and just like a great team of people who are there to take the tasks that they can take care of, and I can just worry about being a musician and like making stuff for people to see. I don't have to worry about like how to market it or what to submit it to or whatever, you know.
So what is 80/20 as far as like as far as labels go?
They're an independent record label. Mike Zimmerlich is the president. He started it way back. I forgot how many years ago, but he started it with one of his colleagues who ended up went to work for Microsoft or something. So Mike's been running it all these years. And it's basically Mike and his team of, I believe they're interns, and they just are there to like help people. The reason why they're called 80/20 is because they believe in, I forgot what the official name of the rule is, but you put in like, basically the artist makes 80% and the label makes 20%. So they're trying to reinstate that like fairness in labels, because you hear of labels nowadays that like they really put you in debt.
Yeah, like 80/20 in the opposite direction.
Yeah, basically. So they're really great. They have great values and everything. And I'm very grateful, because I don't think I would have been able to be as, I don't want to toot my own horn, but like
Toot it.
Toot it. See You at the Funeral and Despondent were a little bit more successful than I thought they would be because, in the past, trying to promote stuff myself, I just didn't know how. And so these people know how, and they have the connections that I need. And it's just like, it's really nice to have.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They're pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Are there a lot of female artists on that label right now?
So Turn Zero is another band. Their lead singer is Emily Grieve. And then, actually, no. I think it's just me and Turn Zero. And the rest are, I think it's the band Bear Ghosts, Gabe Kubanda, and, my mind is blanking.
Huh.
Mega Ran. And I feel like one other person. But, yeah.
Still cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. You've got a release coming out next month? Or next week? When did you say it was coming?
A live stream. I have a live stream. It's a pre-recorded live stream that's airing on Twitch on November 21st, 8 p.m. And that's my Twitch channel.
A non-live stream, also known as a stream.
Yeah, right. It's some kind of stream. I don't know.
Well, it's for a live audience when you...
Yeah.
There's going to be a live audience there, and you're basically...
Yeah.
It's like a filmed concert.
It's basically like a TV program. Like, you record it, and then you air it live.
Sweet.
So I'm doing that, and from then on, I'm vibing, and I'm going to work on stuff for next year. So hopefully, I'm planning a show with some fellow musicians, and then we'll hopefully play like an actual full set show sometime December or January. So
Sweet.
Definitely keep you up to date.
You're graduating, so you can go on tour.
Oh my God, I am so excited to graduate. And I really want to go on tour. I don't know if I'm ready, but that would be awesome to just like, I don't know, even a local tour. I've never played anywhere outside of Phoenix, so.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd
be down to.
The Zona tour, Southwest tour.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Okay, Faun Flora. Well, let's hear a song. You could do two. You're on camera. We got the mic, so that at this point, that sort of seems like a good use of the non-interactive. We got your guitar, which...
Yeah, I'll have to ask for my guitar.
Yeah, that's a reasonable request. I could jump on the drum kit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Not really.
Perfect, thank you. Any requests?
Well, I think you were going to play one for some reason. Oh, I think the catchy one that I like, Drive.
Oh.
And then you can play like whatever you want. And, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Concerto for me and...
How about... I can do See You at the Funeral and then Drive. How's that sound?
That sounds dope.
Which one first? Because Drive is on the piano.
Yeah, let's do Drive.
All right. The funny thing about Drive is that, like, I wrote it, and I, like, cannot remember how to play it by heart. I have to look it up. Or I just don't trust myself enough to remember.
Totally reasonable.
So I have to pull up my chord sheet every time I play this because it just gets to that point where you're like, I have too many songs stored in my brain.
Yes.
To the point where I can't remember my own.
I just took a photo of you looking at your phone.
Nice.
And I'm on my phone.
Okay. I'm gonna have to turn this up a little bit if that's cool.
Yeah, please do.
There we go.
Is the what's it called when it goes back and forth? Is that an effect?
Oh yeah, I can turn it down if that's.
Oh, I just wasn't sure if it just like yeah.
We'll have a little bit in there.
Yeah. What's it called? Pan?
Tremolo, something
Gotcha.
like that. I don't know. I wanna take a ride with you. We don't need the daylight. We can just conspire and cruise. Have you got something to say? You can speak your mind, 'cause I really don't care if the time's too soon and everything feels right. Yeah, something's in the air. Could it be the moon? Can you feel this atmosphere? 'Cause there's something in the way I see you move. Come close, 'cause I need you near. Today, are you here to stay? We can take a drive, us two, speeding under the sun. Look up to the sky, burnt and blue. Two souls converge into one. Every star's aligned, and I really don't care if the time's too soon, 'cause everything feels right. Yeah, something's in the air. Could it be the moon? Whoa. Can you feel this atmosphere? 'Cause there's something in the way I see you move. Come close, 'cause I need you near. Today, are you here to stay? Can you feel this atmosphere? 'Cause there's something in the way I see you move. Come close, 'cause I need you near. Today, are you here to stay? Oh, 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 can you feel this atmosphere? 'Cause there's something in the way I see you move. Come close, 'cause I need you near. Today, are you here to stay? Can you feel this atmosphere? 'Cause there's something in the way I see you move. Come close, 'cause I need you near. Today, are you here to stay?
Oh, man.
You were vibing at the end there.
I know. It's like, keep it going. Wow. Yeah, really showing off your skills as a vocalist. Damn.
Well, thank
you. You got pipes, dude.
Thanks. That's funny that you say that, because I definitely don't feel like I'm a strong singer, because I've been told all my life that I'm soft-spoken. So, I mean, in recent years, I've definitely been working to be a little bit more out there, but thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. Yeah, you're a very strong singer. It's, yeah. Serenade me, serenade.
All right, we're ending on a sad note. Oh, I remember you were asking what this song was about. If I can give a little spiel.
Do.
I wrote this song in July last year, and it actually was kind of inspired, but also just more like kickstarted by my dog's death. A little bit of a morbid turn here, but this dog I grew up with since I was in the 5th grade, and he's been there through me and or he's been there with me through like all the hard parts of my childhood, basically. So I realized he was, you know, probably at the end of his life, and he was getting old and kind of going downhill pretty fast. And I was feeling sad, and the song kind of just came out. But after I wrote the song, I kind of just like was in this state of mind where I was contemplating relationships in general. And oh, did we lose it?
I don't think so. Hold on. This is such a bummer. Well, we're still audio live. I mean, what I'll do is I'll set up my phone and I'll just film you.
Okay.
And we'll just get this last thing of my dog. Let's see. Can I Jimmy rig it? I'd like to. It's so slippery.
Oh my God.
How's this gonna work?
That's risque.
I actually have tape though. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't have to be up there. That's sort of low. There we go. That's
Oh, nice.
close enough. Are you there? Yep, you're there. Now we're going video. Okay, finish the story, if you would.
So at the time I was thinking about relationships in general, and just how precious time really is with those people that you like really love. And at one point I was just like laying in my girlfriend's arms, and I was like just thinking to myself, I love this person so much, and it sucks that like this doesn't get to be a thing that's forever. And, you know, I feel that way about like all of my close relationships. So I kind of just like turned this song into something that was like very personal and meaningful to me. I decided to play with the metaphor of like funeral rites of passage. I took a class in community college a few years ago where it was about death and dying. Oh, sorry, it's my girlfriend.
Speakerphone her in, tell her you were just talking about it.
I'm like, I'm talking about you. Do you hear yourself? Are your ears ringing? So I just...
Rites of passage.
Yeah, rites of passage. I was just playing with the idea of funerals, you know, and how people go to a funeral to say goodbye to someone and send them off into the afterlife. So it was just kind of like this idea where like, whether it's me or you who goes first in this relationship, like meet me at the funeral or meet me in the middle. See you at the funeral, you know? So, okay, I'm going to sing the song now.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm ready.
Do you mind if I send a text to my girlfriend first real quick to let her know I'm alive?
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I didn't realize she like tried to text me.
Hey, when you're a famous artist, you know, these things happen. And
okay, there we go. Okay, thank you for that. Sorry. We like to check in on each other.
It's sweet. It's good.
see you at the funeral.
Wow.
Thank you.
Woo, Faun Flora.
Woohoo.
Let's see here. That was. I'm glad we mic'd the guitar. It sounded really good.
Yeah, me too.
It's nice, obviously, listening to music live, but it's also nice listening to music with like some decent audio gear. It's making me think of how much I listen with just like through my phone, and it always sounds like shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very picky when it comes to like listening to music. I'm like, I need some good speakers or else.
I got the AirPods, and they sound, for how small they are, they're like amazing, but they sound better. They're obviously.
Oh yeah, these are definitely. Yeah, I don't know. When I was in high school, I used to like love listening to music on the bus. It's just like my earphones in, and I kind of like lost touch with it. So when I got like a pair of AirPods finally, I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize that this was like such a important part of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
AirPods have changed my life for sure.
Oh yeah, same.
I'd like, accidentally yank regular headphones out of my ears.
Oh yeah.
Catch them on stuff like once a day. So that's been nice.
I feel.
That's been nice. Sweet. I thought I had some thoughts. Oh yeah. Well, I'm realizing now how that joke I was telling you I was thinking of making about the see you at the funeral as like some sort of spiteful comment doesn't make any sense now that I know what the song is about and that it's like a term of endearment. Well, because like it could be seen as like a sarcastic, like a spiteful thing to say.
Yeah.
It's like see you at the funeral.
Yeah.
So that joke from your end probably was like, what
would have been like,
what are you talking
what's going on?
Are we like soul bonded in such a deep way that you're looking forward to seeing me in the next life? Because you could not even imagine letting go of me.
I'm like, well, I mean, I would have been down with that. I'm still very confused by the first part, but then I would have been like, I think this means we're friends. Not sure.
He's a weird fan.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much again for having me. This was a ball. I really enjoyed this.
Fuck yeah. Well, you'll have to come back.
Yeah, definitely.
Think of interesting songwriter types who you want to send along, and
hell yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to looking at all your projects, especially your pre-recorded live stream.
My stream. Just stream.
The stream.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be posting about that this week because it's, I think, literally next week. So.
Fuck yeah. Well, thanks for making the time.
Yeah.
And
of course, anytime.
We'll get it going.
Yeah. Till next time.
Until next time. You're the engineer, so actually you've got to turn off the audio.
Should we cheers it out?
Hell yeah.
Cheers it out. Cheers to the podcast. Yes. My hot cocoa.
Yay, podcast. We did it.